Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today I thought we could do a lovely reading on what is your life purpose, which is a really big question. And there are so many ways of exploring this topic. And so hopefully this reading can just shed a little bit of clarity on that. But just a reminder to take only what resonates, personalized, that I just wanted to remind us before we jump into such a big question, right? So anyways, there are 3 piles here: pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I'll put your picture up if you need that. Otherwise, I will go ahead and meet you at your piles. Okay, pile number 1, Holy Venus. Like, you have all the Venus cards out here. It's crazy. You have the 2 of Cups, you have the Justice card, you have the Empress, which is the Venus card, you have Libra coming out here, and you also have Virgo, which is Venus's debilitation point. So you guys might have, like, you have huge Venusian themes in your life's purpose. I can already tell you that now. So this could be coming through your chart in several ways. You could have a really hyperactive 1st and 7th house, having like a cloister of planets coming through there. You might have a debilitated Venus, but your Venus, there's something noteworthy probably about it. Either it's making a lot of aspects to a lot of different planets in your chart, it's talking to a lot of different planets, or it's in a really prominent place, like it's on an angle, the 1st, 7th, 4th, or 10th house axis there. But either way, Venus is centering prominently in your life's purpose. So I feel like it's themes of self and other, and seeing through the eyes of empathy is what I'm really, really getting. You guys, I want to start actually here. You guys might be pretty stable in your life with the 10 of Pentacles. And I feel like that, yeah, I feel like you guys are very successful in something, but, and it might have been your Mars, right? I want what I want and I go after it and I take action towards that. And you're really good at that, right? Mars pushes right through certain things. And that has brought you to a place of stability so that you can fulfill your life's mission. And it would be a mistake to think that it's about you, is what I'm hearing. It's not about you. You're there so you don't actually have to think about yourself quite so much. You're here in this place of stability and success so that you can consider other people and really examine your wants, needs, and desires, your impulsiveness, your willfulness, and any time especially that you feel very defensive towards other people. This is an energy of negotiation. You're learning how to negotiate your needs and other people's needs, because I feel like there's some childhood wounding that's been going on, or just even seeing people through their, it's like understanding that you're everybody's wounded, and everybody is, what's that quote? Everyone's fighting a secret battle that you know nothing about. So I feel like there could be a lot of judgment, and you could just like defend yourself a lot against other people, but other people are not your enemies. We're all just kind of seeing through our wounds. And so I think that's a big theme, and I did a bad job of explaining that, but hopefully it'll make more sense by the end of the reading. So your life's purpose here is the 2 of Cups, relationships, center, front and center, and integrating your masculine and feminine feminine sides. I feel like you guys might have more developed masculine side where you might be impulsive or willful. You could have strong Mars in your chart. You could actually have placements in a Mars ruled nakshatra, which rules the nakshatras from the earth signs into the air signs. So that would be Mrgashira, Taurus into Gemini. That would be Chitra. Oh, look, we've got that. Ooh, yes, Chitra, from Virgo into Libra, and then Dhanishta from Capricorn into Aquarius. I'm just getting so many messages. Chitra is a big one. You guys, a lot of you probably have Chitra in your chart, which is the divine architect, the celestial architect. And it chips away at stone in order to craft you into the person that you want to be. A lot of you guys have probably flashes of divine insight, and a lot of that probably centers on you, your behaviors. If you have brothers or close male friends who are pretty much like brothers in your life, then those people probably are really good mirrors for you. And have a lot to do with healing. You guys could also have Ashwini in your chart as well. These are divine healers to the gods. So, and there is something here about like a mind-body connection. So the thing of it is, a big part of your life mission is negotiation and dealings with other people, and allowing other people and their experience of you, their wants and their needs to help shape and mold you, because that's going to get your spirit on the right track. By the way, I have to mention that I don't believe life purpose has to do with the society that's man-made. There's a quote in the Secret Teachings of All Ages that once you stop relating to real life, growth stops. And I feel like society, what we have built that kind of protects us all from real life, which is, the chaos of nature and having to survive with each other, right? Like through nature is where we learn a lot of our really potent lessons. So I do think it's a mistake and it's a trap to judge your soul's progress fully on where you kind of go in society, that kind of a thing. But so I want to just like get back to the basics here. I don't necessarily think that life purpose necessarily has like a career or monetary benefit. Although I think if you change your energy, you kind of can't help but benefit, if that makes sense. Anyways, tangent over. Yeah, so this is a lot about negotiation here with this Justice card and balance, fair and balanced, because I think you'll find that at a certain point in your life when you've achieved, if you haven't gotten to a place of stability yet, you will, because I feel like you're very self-driven. But once you get to this place, it's really freeing up your energy so that you can listen to other people and that you can help them in some way. And it will awaken this compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, and it will open a learning path of forgiveness. I do feel like a lot of you guys could have been overly criticized when you were children, especially if you're if you were boys, young boys at one point. Like you could have just been overly criticized, and it made you think that the world is a scary place, and that people have their own agendas, and that everybody's very calculating. And that's just a tape that's playing in the back of your mind here, but it's not necessarily true. So this is quite interesting because, like I said before, there's an axis here with Virgo into Libra, and it's Chitra, and you have the energy to move away from and the energy to move towards. I mentioned that Venus debilitates in Virgo, and so and that Venus is the energy that you're trying to embody. So the energy to move away from in Virgo is just this hypercritical nature. Oh, something almost fell. This hypercritical nature. Or trying to figure everything out like behind the scenes, trying to figure out what someone else's agenda is and whether or not they mean to wound you, because I feel like your Mars is super active, where you're very self-protective. You probably are a very strong protector of others. And I feel like, ooh, there we go. Because you are so adept at protecting, and you're going to build this by protecting yourself early on, and it's going to get you to a place of stability. And once you're there, you're supposed to be a protector for other people. This is not given for you. It's not given for you, but it's to allow you to give and receive with other people, if that makes sense. This abundance. You've been trusted with it. You are a steward of it. You're like the banker in Monopoly. And so, yeah, you're really examining this more like self-focused, competitive side. Maybe some of you guys like to compete a lot, or you compare yourself a lot with other people. Some of you guys also, it's like you're picking apart your body, but Venus has a way of being very beautiful, like being very finding the beauty in things, you know, and really shaping that. So it's all a big part of this. And the reason is because of the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's something here that's trying to end. Like it's trying to, I do feel like you have a lot of love inside of you that's maybe just been pushed down because of some kind of childhood experience where you were overly criticized here. Mars is also incredibly observant, and Mars, I told you, rules these nakshatras, and those Mars-ruled nakshatras are all about an exodus, leaving something behind. So it's like you do leave something behind with the Six of Swords, and you move into calmer waters. And because of that, it allows you the chance to, explore your subconscious with the Hangman here. This is the 12th house, the attic of the psyche, but also to get a new perspective, to change a perspective, and to lose certain things in a very much in a divine sort of way. Yes. Okay. We also have the Advocate card coming through here. Inspires you to put compassion into action. And I was getting like seeing through the eyes of empathy, shapeshifter, skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, and the ability to see the potential in everything. I do feel like you, there's this critical nature. You're very observant. Like this is a very observant group, and it was defensiveness when you were young and small, but then you're growing into this big tree that is strong, and therefore it's inspiring you to put this compassion into action, and you can see this potential, and you kind of know how. Yeah. Oh my gosh, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Yeah, so, and some of you guys, this is going to turn into a cause, especially for young boys. I don't know, like maybe needing father figures or needing like, you know, little suits and ties and events to go to and things like that. Like that kind of stuff. So the reason you need to know this with the Four of Cups is because you've been missing opportunities to connect with people on a truly, and it's because you're in this like very defensive mode, and you feel like you have to get yours, that people are out to hurt you, and that if you don't protect yourself, nobody else will, and that maybe you've come from like this place of lack in the past. But what do you want to say about that? Because there's something. There's also a theme about balancing the scales here. Yeah, so some of you guys are loners, and it's out of self-defense. But you actually have like a very charismatic personality that can pull people in around you. That's what Mars can do for you as well. Some of you are comedians with your bodies. I always think about that with Mars. Some of you also have very rhythmic ways of moving your body. Some of you are yoga teachers. Look at this. Like, I'm just getting this is a divine masculine journey to me. You don't have to resonate with that. You can certainly, Venus is the divine feminine as well. And you could be in a feminine body, because either way you're trying to balance out these polarities. It's just how your soul felt like it needed to do it. But kind of what I'm getting here is like, this is a strong, tough guy kind of a person, you know, that has charisma, that has been very successful, that has a larger than life personality possibly. And then imagine using that to offer real love with the Ace of Cups, and not being in this self-fulfilling, defensive, toxic masculine kind of energy. And I say that as like, masculinity is real, true, like loving masculinity is very protective. It's the father, it's the son, you know? Masculine energy tends to help other people at its purest form, but you have to graduate up from Mars. Some of you guys have Mars in Virgo as well. Some of you could have Mars and Venus conjunct in Virgo. Yeah, so being an advocate for other people, but it's like you learn how to do that through yourself first. And I feel like it's going to depend where you're at in your journey. So the energy to move into, though, is Libra. And at first, I feel like it means blocking off your heart, because it's going to feel, I'm getting the, how are you supposed to become a masterpiece if you're irritated by every rub? That's, you know, that's a saying about really that chisel metaphor that I was giving you before. Thinking about this diplomatically, thinking about it, Libra is an air sign, thinking about it in your head, you know, starting with little things like, how can I negotiate somebody else's, you know, needs? If it's a situation that calls for a contract, then, you know, that's fine as well too. And the other energies to lean into, we have Samaritan, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. And child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption suggest a special connection with the divine. Trusting in the divine to help keep you safe at this point, because I feel like at this point you really do have the resources to protect yourself. You're not a scared child anymore. Like, you have built yourself up in some way, pile number one. And you're clearing away. This is a divine protector energy. So you went through the things that you went through because you're smart and capable, and you can clear away for other people. Some of you, this is about working with children in a more direct kind of a way, even if it's through like a charity or something like that. Yes. Yeah, and then another energy. So we talked about Virgo as an energy of moving away from. This is just, to me, I'm getting like this really, shadow side Virgo can be very uptight. And Virgo is also the most materialistic sign. So moving away from materialism, because what Spirit's drawing your attention to here is that you're actually very you're set materially. You're good, or you will be good by the time like you hit the point where you can start working on this mission. You have like a really solid foundation and a solid base that's made you very, very abundant. And I feel like you also have a good way of hearing Spirit in the material realm in some way. And with the Four of Cups, though, it's this over focus on building things materially is also a defense mechanism. And you're good there. You can stop building there, and then that way you can let love in. Real love, divine love. Yeah, and so some of you guys, we have Avenger, desire to balance the scales of justice. But you have this. You're going to naturally balance the scales of justice. You naturally are, by giving the thing that you wanted. And you've gotten yourself, congratulations, by the way, and good job, because you've gotten yourself to a place where you can give, where you're a strong one, pile number one. You got a lot of strength to you. Yeah, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. You don't have to, if you focus on that, if you focus on getting back at people, if you focus on getting your own justice, you're not going to bring justice into the world. The key is to look at yourself. You can only control yourself. Look at yourself, look at your contributions to things, and really reflect a lot on that with this Hermit energy. You have the 9, that energy of the divine 9th house, the guru. Your body is your teacher as well, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, a lot of you guys have like daily practices or something with your physical body. And examine where that comes from. There's something about examining where that comes from, because some of you, it like comes from fear, or like trying to cheat death or whatever, but you're being called into this sage-like energy, a mentor, a guide, a sheltering tree. You are being called into being like kind of like a parent that you never had or something. Okay, so what themes might come up in your life? So also, you guys are growing. You're going to keep growing. And you're growing in your divine feminine nature with the Empress. This is a very nurturing energy, very loyal energy, and just abundant. This is abundance. So the abundance thing, if you're focusing too much on the material world, you got that. You got that on lock. Like, it's not going anywhere. Okay. Themes. Let's look at some themes. Forgiveness, growth, and love. Yes, all of the above. Those are all very Venusian themes. And courage. So with Mars, you have immense courage. And you've probably built that up in masculine ways, or you've like really tried to succeed in the material world. And you've done that, or you will do that, pile number one. Through your mind, through your intellect, through a skill set that you have. Possibly some of you are body workers, or that's part of your life mission as well, to work with the body in order to help wounded children. And look, opens a learning path of forgiveness, and you have forgiveness down here. So, okay, I'm just going to read these really quick. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, because this fearful energy, I just feel like it's got you, stuck in this, like, why are you trying to hurt me? Why are you trying to da-da-da-da? And it's tinting the way that you're seeing people. It is. But there's value in everyone, and especially everyone that comes into your sphere and into your life. And also, This is a big thing too. Everyone is bigger and smaller in different ways. So you're probably going to build yourselves up, pile number one. If you haven't already, you're going to build yourselves up in the material world. Be very careful, be quite careful that you don't miss out on your teachers because in this defensive posture, in thinking that you are better than them because you've achieved in the material world. Some people have obtained things through pain and suffering, through their wounding that has cost them in the material world. But you're there to help balance that out. You see what I mean? And then they're going to balance you out another way. So where you've grown yourself to be very big, another person had to sacrifice that in order to grow themselves big in another area. And then you can balance each other out. But you have a part to play in this grand scheme of all things, which is why I was getting this Three of Pentacles energy, because the Three of Pentacles is the energy of collaboration. It's the energy of bringing the divine down into the material realm and the hard work of that. And that can only happen in a group, in a community. And it can only happen when everyone is kind of acknowledging the value in everyone else. And Venus is value. And a lot of people mistake value and abundance for money. It isn't. You have your own Venus sign. So the things that you value, you're going to nurture those things in the world. Again, playing your part in the divine whole of everything, which takes a lot of courage, and you're going to have to grieve something, some kind of past, some kind of wounding, and some kind of possibly vision that you had for yourself that was maybe quite selfish. Also, those of you who are masculines and you are young enough, you have not chosen a partner. For the masculine path, choosing your partner, if they're more feminine in nature to you, is a big part of this, because it's said in occultist teachings that your woman will either lead you down the path of materialism or righteousness. You're going to be quite well off, pile one, is what I want to say, materially speaking. And so it's important that you really do understand, like, don't pick someone out of lust or anything, because that could mess this up and make everything kind of harder for you. And then you are going to have to fix it. Do you know what I mean? So that's just going to add another, and because that could perpetuate this cycle of child woundedness. So there's always a double-edged sword with like our missions, right? And I feel like you guys, I don't think like people who are coming to this reading are going to like fail or anything, but that's the warning in the cards. And also because Virgo, Venus debilitates in Virgo because it's kind of nitpicky. It can be. Venus doesn't like to do that. Venus doesn't like to take things apart. It's actually not great for men to pick apart women, like just in occultism. Like that's kind of a woman is to be taken as a whole. I'm just throwing out a lot of occultist things for you guys. There can be hidden enemies that are, okay, your hidden enemies, pile number one, are mentally well developed. Oh my gosh. And some of them have psychic abilities. So be careful, because you guys are showing up as quite intuitive yourselves. You're showing up as very strong. So your hidden enemies can be quite strong, quite convincing as well. The way to get around this is self-observation. And by not being drawn in by lust. Oh boy, this is the energy of Ashleisha. This is a strongly, I feel like a lot of masculines chose this pile because this is the energy of Ashleisha. Ashleisha is the energy of the small overcoming the large through cunning. And that energy there can want to draw men in from lust, which pulls them from their path. But that's only if that energy is not well cultivated. And in the Kali Yuga, a lot of times that energy cannot be well cultivated. So this is to telling you to watch out for your hidden enemies. But the way to do that is to examine yourself, because, and this is a well-known thing, like narcissism, being overly self-focused, right, and self-worshipful, notoriously has huge social blind spots. So I'm so sorry that I'm being so blunt. It's just, if you come to this reading, you're getting a leg up, you're getting some help, and I don't want to beat around the bush, right? Okay, and then another reason that Venus debilitates in Virgo is because Virgo, like I said, can be shadow side Virgo. It's the most materialistically focused sign. So sometimes they can choose their partners based on growing material wealth. And that's going to pull you away from your life purpose, because you're going to find that you have to keep pleasing someone. Okay. Look, this is a very loving and nurturing brand of leadership that you guys are growing into. Something that helps to nurture, not just, it doesn't have to be that you're working with actual children. Everybody has an inner child, and a lot of our inner children are wounded. Radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. You're here to protect others. Pile number 1. Mars is the divine protector. It is. And it's so funny because it's so selfish and it can cause so much harm in its youthfulness, but that's a part of its learning experience. So try not to beat yourself up too bad. You know, if you were kind of selfish in your past and maybe you were a little reckless or something like that, try not to beat yourself up about that. It was all part of your learning experience, because you can be very brave. This is the energy that will just without a thought, run in to save someone. Mediator, a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. Yeah. Okay, let me just, I'm pulling a lot of cards because I don't care. I'm having fun. This is important. This is important. So let's get the gifts that you're getting, the blessing that you're getting, and the blessing that you are. Okay, we have nudity, so I'm just going to cover it up. So the gift that you're getting, angel of diet and nutrition, pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what's good for you. Yeah, you do, because a lot of you guys are destined to be body workers. And, oh, look, angel of emergence. It's time for the real you to emerge. I think you're going to find that if you start to trust other people, also that could be a way that your hidden enemies trick you and control you, is by whispering that you can't trust other people and that you can only trust them. And then they control basically like your mind, which is your actions, and it's going to get you all messed up off your path. So yeah, pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what's good for you. Angel of clearing, your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. Yes, you guys are getting a lot of clarity. The ticket here is focusing on yourself and how you and your actions ripple out into the world and impact situations, right? Instead of, because I do feel like there's some energy left over from childhood because you were small and you couldn't hold your own in a situation. You can definitely hold your own in a situation. Pile number 1 now, or you're working your way towards an ability to do that, and that's where you are at on your path to doing that. But yeah, this is fairness. This is fairness. You're working towards fairness and balance. And the way, actually, what's interesting and what's paradoxical about this is the way to do that is examining yourself, not blaming other people. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like you do. Okay, and the last part of this is I'm just gonna get a Journey of Love card for you. So this will be like a message directly from Spirit. All right, what message you have for pile number 1 about their life purpose? About their life purpose. Okay, the spaces between worlds. I flipped right open to it, pile 1. You guys are ready for this. Okay, so when we look for guidance, we often look for words that clarify, reassure, and help us find our authentic path through the chaos. Yet there is also guidance in the spaces between worlds, between each letter, between all the happenings in our lives, where there is nothing to be said, where there are no lines to be colored in, and where there is just openness. Those are the times when we need to freestyle. We need to do or not do based on what's happening for us right in the moment. Often there is far less to do than we think. Often we don't need to think. There is a space forming around you now. Sometimes when we sense this subconsciously, we feel exhilarated and excited, anxious and nervous, and not even sure why. There's a sense perhaps that we wouldn't mind having a map of this unknown terrain, or perhaps we're happy to wing it and make it up as we go. Either way, there's a space just to be. It's a receiver for the divine presence. If you have a lot of space of unknowing around you now or within you, then just know that there's a lot of divine presence to be received. It can't be explained really. It happens between words and yet without it. There wouldn't be any words, any guidance at all. The oracle speaks to you. Enter the space and let go, for your time to receive is upon you. Be blessed. So I love this. Yeah, you guys are going to receive a lot of blessings in this life. But just know that the strong, like you're given that to give to others. And let me just, one more. I know I said that was the last one, but I just looked up and saw this, and I was going to pull this to see any other variables that could come up. Okay, interesting. Friendship. Building connections with people through yourself, and be very, very careful about following your lust and following people who are, hold on, I just want to get one more card clarifying this. Some of you guys are embarrassed because my ears are like really hot. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. I feel like the first part of this journey is about seeing clearly the energies that are around you, because I feel like friendship, knowing who you can trust, is a big theme here, because you're seeing through a wounded lens. So observing yourself and fixing this before you, it's going to help build up your friendships and your relationships, because otherwise you're going to trust the wrong people. And then those people probably, because it looks like you're going to be well off, you guys, and I'm just going to shoot it to you straight. Like, these people have a strong interest in controlling you and controlling your assets, frankly. And they're going to be highly manipulative. And then you're just going to believe them, and it's going to separate you from forming friendships. People, it's not just you. Like, people benefit from being in a friendship with you, and they are more protected somehow, even spiritually. I feel like this pile is strong masculine energy. And people benefit for being in a relationship with you. So this is also following your intuition about certain things. But in order to do that, especially if you're masculine on a masculine path, you have to not get drawn in by lust. And you have to not pick partners and friendships based on materialism. Forgiveness. Some of you guys, I feel like you've already made this mistake. And so just forgive yourself. Yeah, it's acceptance. Everything happens for a reason. So just accept, like, you're learning and you're on your path, and you have a right to your path. Pile number one. You have a right to your path. It's not too late. You're still here. You can still start to examine yourself, and everything's going to become clear, and the path will become clear. Yeah. So that's what I have for you guys. If that resonated, I would love to hear in the comment section, and I wish you guys all the best of luck. Bye. All right, pile number 2, what is your life purpose? Your life purpose, I feel like there's something that wants to come through you that's very creative. You're a highly, highly creative person. And I feel like you need to know that, because some of you guys don't think that you have the ability to take something through to fruition, but it's because a big part of your life focus is about learning how to put in the work, learning how to put in the time, and how to manage like the physicality of bringing whatever this is that whatever energy this is. And I feel like it can be very profitable for you as well into the physical world, because you guys have this Venus Scorpio going on here. And this can be an axis in Taurus Scorpio. Taurus is ruled by Venus, but a lot of you guys, maybe you have your Venus in Scorpio, or you have your Venus oppose your Pluto, but you're pulling a lot between the energy, that Scorpionic energy and that Venusian energy. They're talking a lot to each other. I feel like you're going to see this energy pop up in multiple ways in your life, because And this energy with Venus, Pluto, Venus, Scorpio, it has to, these people create a love, they crave a love that will, you know, that breaks all barriers. And I feel like that's possible, but it's going to take a long time with the Seven of Pentacles. It really, really is. And I feel like that's a burden for you. The pace of things is a burden for you. And there's also something here about you yourself regenerating and transforming through relationships. And another theme that wants to come through as part of your life focus, because this is all just energies, things that life is going to reflect this back to you in a myriad of ways, I feel like, pile number 2. But another thing here is there's themes here of the way that you make your own money from your own creativity and value. Some of you guys have an extreme artistic gift, and other people's money. And so some of you guys, right, listen, we have athlete, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Some of you guys, it's like, you might even fantasize a lot about meeting someone who is powerful. Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is money after marriage, that kind of thing. So you might just have these kinds of themes, or you might not even know it. It could be suppressed in you, where you're just drawn to these kinds of people, these scorpionic kinds of people, because you feel like then you would be able to be creative. You would be able to have like some kind of creative outlet, maybe get some kind of status or recognition, because you guys definitely are very creative in some kind of way. But these relationships that you're drawn to with these kinds of types of people, they probably have a lot of hidden themes to them, or your person has a lot of hidden habits, maybe even hidden relationships, or just hidden quirks that they have in relationships. Where they're maybe misusing athletic ability for selfish ends, a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Because this energy, and I talk a lot about this scorpionic energy is a really tough energy. It's breaking our ties to the material world. And I feel like you're kind of doing that somehow through relationships, and also through creativity and the way that you make your own money in some kind of way. You guys have what it takes to be successful in some kind of creative endeavor. Some of you are singer-songwriters, you're artists, that kind of thing. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take slugging it, you know? The reason is we have the 2 of Swords, which is just kind of blocked energy. There's something here that's blocked because I feel like the focus could be on a relationship. It's almost like taking the short way. I've been watching Wonder Woman 1984, and that race at the beginning really gets me. I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, if I'm being honest, where her mom, Diana, Wonder Woman, her mom grabs her before she can finish the race because she took the short path, which I actually thought was very creative, the way that she dealt with, you know, falling off her horse. But her mom said, you're not ready to win yet because you took the short path. And it was a really important lesson for her. There's no like quick fix through love, through a relationship, through money after marriage, or anything like that. Is a big part of your own life lesson here. There's something about just burdens, like understanding that you yourself are strong, you are strategic, and you have a lot of hidden gifts and talents. You know your way around things. And I also feel like there's this energy of just trusting someone with yourself. Because you guys are very independent, and you might actually find that you have a very strong independent streak. And that's why, like, I don't know, attaching yourself to a relationship or something, it might not be the best path for you. Like, if you just decided to wait on the partnership thing and just to cultivate your skill set, practice, something that you can make money on, focused on how you build up your own money, it would change your entire destiny, I feel like. And the reason that you need to know this is because of the Queen of Cups. I feel like a lot of you guys wear your heart on your sleeves. I'm hearing that lyric, wear your heart up on your sleeves, so watch out for pickpockets. I think that's an Ariana Grande song. But the Queen of Cups here, I'm just noticing the deadness behind the eyes. So it's almost like there's something here where I feel like you could be taken advantage of by people who are very manipulative and Machiavellian and don't have your best interest at heart, that could just be interested in your beauty and exploiting your talents. That's another thing that's coming through here, pile number 1 or pile number 2, is that you guys are your natural beauties, you have some kind of natural gift and talent. There's something like this it comes through you very naturally, and it's naturally valuable. And it could be something that you do already do for a career, or you want to do for a career, and the wrong people want to exploit that. And your soul wanted to learn how to come in here and how to avoid those people. So you guys could have found that you learn a lot in relationships. You've been betrayed a lot in relationships. And it's a big, big burden. And some of you guys might just even sexualize or romanticize all of your problems. Like things that are not even, I'm just trying to be honest here, things that are not even love related or in the realm of romance, things like career, things like how you're going to make your own money. That's not really tied to romance. Like by tying it, you might just tie it all in there. So you guys might have had like partnerships in the in a past life, and you got used to living a certain way or something like that, and that's become the focus. Why can't I speak? Why can't I speak? I've struggled this whole reading. Yeah, there's something like that where so your soul wants to learn about that and how to be powerful and creative and make money off of it as well. So yeah, and you guys aren't following your heart through this for some reason. What did I do? I keep trying to find... Oh, here we go. Let me just clarify this Two of Swords real quick. Wear your heart up on your sleeve, so watch out for pickpockets. Yeah. That's what I'm really getting with that. Yeah, this Emperor card. What's this? King of Swords. Yeah, it's like there's something here where I feel like you want to see the best in people, and so you romanticize certain people that have achieved status because you think that everybody is just wonderful and good and out to like get along and things like that. So people who have been successful are just like that. They're just successful, but it's not always the case. And I feel like you can be drawn to some pretty nefarious characters that are highly manipulative. Hi, Soul. Oh, that's Luna. Hey. Yeah, I just feel like you guys can be drawn to some pretty nefarious people, pretty nefarious characters, and your heart can't see it because you guys are seeing through your heart and not seeing through like Loony nay nay. All right, one second, you guys. It's not dinner time, and I mentioned this in Patreon, but like I have the doors open and I think they're just excited, but let me just see what's wrong with her. Okay. So I think that they're just excited because it's a nice day and we have the doors open and there's kids outside. So, okay. I feel like, yeah, like you guys are just like you're loving hearts and you're just wide open. And I feel like maybe some of you guys in past lives, you've had very strong partners that were very capable and that was a part of your life mission then. And so you were a little bit more sheltered and you did get to develop, you know, some kind of artistic habit, which by the way, if you're really good at some kind of artistic habit or something, that's why you're channeling it so strong into this life, is because you're actually channeling it in from past lives here with this. But in this life, you guys are learning how to be more independent and you're learning how to be more separate and not compromising your vision for anyone, because this is the energy that you're being asked to move away from. Also, there's the energy of contracts here. Be careful about signing contracts with nefarious people. I really feel like you guys are going to be better off doing things very independently, especially like with your craft. Yeah, starting your own business, climbing your own way to the top, because I just feel like I don't like this energy that's around you. And I feel like it's around you because your soul, as a part of its life mission, wants to be able to identify it. And you yourself want to be a big fish, and you can be. And then when you get to that place where you have a lot of pull, then I think that you are going to be able to be a better force in the world for people. But yeah, so this is the energy of restriction, right, with your gifts, because the energy to move away from is this selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Yeah. Be fully creative here. You guys are creative pioneers. Pile number 2, that's a big part of your life mission. And so the energy to lean into is Pisces. Pisces is the final sign, and it can kind of take flavors from all these different signs. You guys have an uncanny ability to tap into different parts of life and connect with a lot of different people. Venus exalts in Pisces. So, and this is loving everyone. Some of you guys aren't really meant to be in like a one-on-one relationship. Definitely not early on in life, because I feel like, I'm just going to say this, I feel like the person that you're supposed to be with is a little bit weird. And you're going to have the freedom to be with someone who maybe isn't societally well off because of their position or power. That is like a little bit weird, because you're going to become weird yourself. If a lot of you guys are like, Jessica, I'm already there. I'm already weird. Thanks for that. But yeah, you guys are going to have a chance to like become weird. And you're going to meet this person that's going to be absolutely great for you and encourage your creativity. Because if you get into a relationship with someone who's really wealthy or is trying to control you, and this doesn't have to be romantic, this could be based on like somebody wants to create a business partnership for you with, based on your I want to say creative genius. You guys, I kind of feel that this pal's creative genius, but, then it's just going to mess it up. They're going to try to control it. You're just going to, no. Whereas if you go it alone, if you build your career on your own, and overcome lust is a big thing as well, because some of you guys, the lust isn't real. It's a hurt locker. Yes. I feel like you need to hear this. There's some people that you're really, really drawn to, and it's like the lust isn't real. The draw isn't real. It's that person's your hurt locker, right? I talk a lot about that. Shallon Lester coined that term, hurt locker, as someone we want to be. Looney, please, baby. Please. It's not time. So yeah, like, that's somebody that you more want to be and embody. And you guys can work your way up this ladder through your creativity. But yeah, I just feel like you have to allow that to flow through you, because you also have the pioneer passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. So let's get some themes. How is this going to play out in themes in your life? Okay, and before I move on to that, I just want to say with the Eight of Swords, this might create a lot of turmoil in you, because I feel like a lot of you guys feel strong pulls towards relationships, but it's a certain kind of relationship, and I feel like the reasoning behind that is like deep and buried in your psyche here, and it's going to take some grappling with the Eight of Swords. So try to be easy on yourself, and also work out and keep practicing your skill, and maybe even funnel it into your creative process, whatever this is, this Eight of Swords. And it's just saying to like hold yourself back and in a certain way in order to like really think about this. Denial, look, is like front and center, and envy. So some of you guys, there could be envy, like playing up, and loneliness. And just to be honest about that is what I'm getting just from this spill that happened. Happy little accident there. And then maybe you're going to have some kind of guilt, but it's okay to just grapple with that, because I feel like that's the first step in the healing process in order for you to fulfill this creative destiny that you have. So I kind of want to say that they're mutually exclusive. Okay. Envy wanted to come out again. Regret. Failure. Indecision. Some of you guys might be intimidated about making some decisions, and you might have regrets over the decisions that you made. I know I cannot change the past. So envy, I'm the same as everybody else, but with different challenges. Failure, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And then indecision, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So you guys could have these themes kind of coming up, and then it's like a catch-all to think, oh, I'm going to get in a relationship with someone else and they're going to like fix all of it, even if it's a subconscious kind of a thought. A lot of times this kind of energy has faced a lot of trauma early on in life, even sexual trauma. And yeah. So your soul wants to learn how to transcend the limits that the physical world can put on something, right? Where it takes a lot of time to build up a skill. It takes a lot of time to really build something and build it right. But I feel like it'll be way, way worth it for you guys. So let's get the blessing that is coming into your life and the blessing that you are. What is the blessing that pile number 2 has coming in, and what is the blessing that they are? Okay, we have nudity here, but the blessing that you have coming into your life is the angel of expression. Speak your truth and express yourself clearly. And again, like some of you guys have creative projects or something, pour yourself into that. and like be really real and raw and honest. And I think that there's something about a creative thing that you do, creative, like writing, whether it's songwriting, whatever this is, where you're actually communicating your clearest, and you are actually communicating the deepest parts of your soul and of the human experience as well. And then the blessing that you are an angel of addiction healing. This is a time for positive transformation and healing. So you guys can help, like, this is the energy of addiction, like, and of love addiction or romance addiction. And this is a promise that your efforts are going to pay off. If you can throw yourself into this independent energy and this creative energy, if you trust yourself with your own creative vision and don't hand it over to anybody else, then your efforts and determination and perseverance will pay off. All right, so let's get a message from Spirit. Man of Earth, Woman of Sky. Sorry about that. I'm trying to be careful about the table. Okay. This is a message to you directly from Spirit. I see myself in you and you in me. We may seem to be so different and sometimes yet so similar. Even beyond this, I know deep within that we are one. I can lose myself in your light and receive your light with my body. I can witness the darkness of your shadow and enter into it with my compassion. I can find the divine in our connection, letting go, this is interesting, letting go of what I thought I was. I can be broken apart to become as one with you, even for only a second, and know the divine more intimately than ever before. Our passion leads us to each other, and in each other we find our true selves. This oracle brings you a message of sacred relationship that leads to divine understanding and experience. You are being opened up to sacred relationship, either in your current relationship or one that is on its way to you now, in human relationship and in divine relationship with the heavenly beloved. Know that you are worthy of it and keep a light of gentle hope and respect kindling in your heart as you anticipate the union with your beloved. Know that even when it is dark, when it challenges you, there is sacredness unfolding. The love of the divine wants to reach us not only in our happiness, but also perhaps more so in our darkest hour. Let it reach for you through your relatedness with another, and do not be afraid to be broken and opened, for in that cracking of what you thought you were, you shall begin to know what you are, which is heaven on earth. I definitely feel like this is the divine beloved, but you guys also are pulling in a very strong soulmate. It's just you have to be careful that you're not going after like the wrong people for the wrong reasons, because I feel like your soulmate is like super different to like, they're very different and they're very unique just to you. I want to read this one too for this pile. All right, the temple. The lover and the beloved meet in sacred space. They take respite from the cares of the world, entering into sanctuary where only they exist. You are in need of this. Meditation, making love, connection and dance, intimacy and surrender into the moment. Your body and soul need to enter into the temple and participate in sacred ceremony. Choose to give this to yourself. Set aside time. Turn off the computer and mobile telephone. Turn on music and set the lighting. I don't know why I can't talk, you guys. I'm sorry. Be in the present moment. Do you remember your body? Ah, yes, there it is. Can you be in its temple with presence and delight? This oracle brings guidance to take time out to smell the flowers, savor the pleasures of life, and renew your connection to the inner lover. Your sensuality wants to come out and play. You are encouraged to explore scent, touch, taste, and feeling. You are encouraged to play with color. What moves you? What brings you into connection with yourself in this moment again? It is the wholeness of divine self-connection in sacred space that will best nourish you now. Love should be given as it is received. On this day I grant you the love of 1,000 mountain streams and the pleasure of 100 bleats from a newborn baby fawn. For I, too, cry for love, and like the fawn, I cry with the hunger of being alive. And on this day, I cry for the happiness of giving and the warmth of receiving and the softness of your gentle touch. It is moments like this when I smile for someone who will always care. Yeah, so it's definitely themes of divine love coming through for this pile, but it's coming through it's somehow connected to your creativity. So anyways, that is what I have for you guys, pile number 2. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear how this resonated in in the comments. This pile is headed to some kind of deep divine love as well. That was definitely clear there at the end. So, bye guys. Okay. Pile number 3, this is coming through so clear. So what is your life purpose? You guys are destined to be leaders or teachers in something where you have very strong and divine knowledge coming through. You also do a very good job of blending thinking, like the more logical side of life, with the more intuitive side of life. And this can be in any field, whether you're a therapist. A lot of you guys could work in spirituality. You could work with children in your community. But you have a lot of in-depth knowledge that's coming through, and your life purpose is to use that knowledge and to give from a place of superiority. That sounds counterintuitive on a spiritual path, but a lot of you guys have had Aquarian past lives. We get this energy a lot on this channel because the energy that you guys are moving away from is Aquarius, which is the energy of the group and of service to others. You are still being of service to others, but there is something here where you're being elevated. You're being set apart here with the Hermit. And we also have this moon energy. Some of you guys have Hasta, strong Hasta in your chart, and that is the moon ruled nakshatra in the middle of Virgo. And that energy is about manifestation, and it's also about getting what you want. So some of you guys, this pile might have really struggled with money and spirituality in the past and blending the two together. But I'm telling you, there's something here about if you have been thinking about starting like a spiritual business, if you do that and if you start making money off of that, your spirituality is actually going to flow and flourish. Because a lot of you guys, you have lived like monk past lives, things like that, and you're not keen to make money in spirituality, but there's something about that where I think it's going to help you. A lot of you guys, this is the energy of a tarot reader because you have strong intuition coming through with the moon and internal guidance and what cannot be seen. And then you have that mixing with Mercury, the hands, the mind, the heart, communication, that kind of a thing. So some of you guys, and it doesn't have to be through tarot, but it is something like you could be channeling some kind of written work. Or something like this, but it comes from deep study. A lot of you guys, whenever you read certain things, you have strong intuitive hits, and that's not something to be ignored. Some of you guys might have overlooked this because you think that everybody's getting the same insights whenever they read these certain texts. They're not. You're getting some kind of download, from this. A big part of this too, you have this hermit energy. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. A lot of you guys, this is also the energy of Ashleisha, extreme cult powers. The hermit can also be a really strong teacher that you yourself choose. And this person might actually be a female. with a highly developed mind here. And maybe even this person has lived a little bit of a different kind of a life, but that will help shape your own occult powers and abilities, because Ashleisha has a ton of occult powers and needs to have some kind of anchor or a guru in order to facilitate that in the right direction so that they can get the most out of it. Even if this is through written words, through poetry, through women. For some reason I'm getting Teresa of Avila. She was a very solitary creature, and she had like a sexual relationship with God, so she said, but it was like she wrote books based on it. She channeled something down. Do you see kind of like the energy where I'm going with this? And you probably have a little bit more of an understanding of where you want to go in this field and with this, with this energy. But that's definitely what your life purpose is, because with this Knight of Cups, you guys are very responsible with spiritual energy, and you can tell that because you check it with mental and like scientific. You guys understand, you have highly developed minds in all ways. You have very holistically developed minds. You have beautiful minds. And I feel like that's why you're so responsible with spiritual knowledge. So you guys will be pushed along like in that kind of a path because of the way that you're treating this knowledge. You're showing up as the Hermit. This is the major arcana card in the spread. So you have the Hermit here twice. I can't tell you how powerful this energy is. This is a beautiful energy. And a big part of your energy is also learning how to go towards what you find value in and not taking in requests from the group, not taking in advice from the group, because you guys are very intuitive. You're very strongly plugged in to spirit, and you answer only to spirit. A lot of people are going to have thoughts about what it is that you do, and they're going to all want to give you their advice, but you answer directly to spirit, pile number 3. And you have been blocking this. I feel like you've actively been blocking at some point in your life this energy, right? We have this Thief card at the bottom. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And then you have Saboteur. So some of you guys are just worried about being sabotaged or having manipulative people take something that's so personal. Where their moon sits in our chart is our most sensitive place. So a lot of your ideas here with the Hermit and possibly your skill set, your inner beliefs, it's a very sensitive place, and it's a very sensitive topic for you. And stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. So some of you guys, it's just not going to happen, because it comes from such an authentic place within you, and what you do is so interesting and unique that, well, what's interesting is Hasta is the mimic. Okay, so hold on here. Okay. I feel like this energy, I kind of feel like people who try to copy you in a way to steal from you, they'll be dealt with. Because again, I feel a strong thing where you're answering directly to spirit. But Hasta is the mimic, and so I feel like you're almost put in place. You're going to introduce a lot of new things, and people are supposed to be drawn to want to mimic you. They need to do it in a respectful way, because you're there, and they need to treat you as a guide that was sent by God. A divine guide. They need to treat you with respect. And I feel like you don't have to worry about that, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to, like, trust that spirit is going to be, it's going to be dealt with, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And then guide represents the nature of the divine in yourself and others. And some of you guys, you're just channeling this divine feminine energy so strongly. The moon was, well, hold on here. Mercury is actually the child of the moon, because both of these rule mind in Vedic astrology. It's just the moon is the whole mind, and Mercury is the intelligent mind that picks things apart and finds patterns, which would make you a really good reader or make you a really good intuit, because you're going to, some of you have Mercury conjunct moon, but you pick up on patterns really well, and you express them really well, and you can express this feminine emotional side to things really well. And a part of you is like, part of what you want to learn is how to be fearless in expressing this side of yourself, even though it's so delicate. There's like a strength in this delicateness. You know what I mean? Storyteller. Yeah, a lot of you guys, this is like a very spiritual pile. Ability to express and experience and express life through stories and symbols. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Yeah. And then the Saboteur card highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. A lot of you guys have been holding your own self back. Because you don't feel like you want to be superior to anyone, but this will change your fortune. Something about you is supposed to be expansive here. And a lot of you guys are teachers, very strong teachers, and it's needed now. It's needed now. So in a way, your success and you benefiting it's the rising tide lifts all boats. So you're here to expand yourself, and then, you know, you probably will be called to defend your territory here and have some kind of test of your own strength, because it's not like, yeah, I feel like it's just defending whatever it is that you put out there, and not necessarily in like an overt way, but just standing by it. You know what I mean? Oh boy. So the reason that you know this is because you have a lot of energy that is welling up inside of you to accomplish this mission here with the Knight of Rods. And you have the energy and it's been given to you right now in order to put this into some kind of action. And I feel like Spirit doesn't want you to miss out on this opportunity. Let me just see why this is here, because this is your next moves. And in this deck, I view this as like looking at the higher cup. There's this pile answers directly to God. I'm telling you, like, it's looking at the higher cup, not worrying about what everybody else is doing. Trailblazer kind of comes to mind here. And starting a business, you guys, getting a home base, getting some kind of base, really putting the work in. So you guys are getting ready to just start to get in a routine and a habit where you're building something. You have Midas here. Entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold. Delight in sharing life's riches. So I feel like starting a business is a big part of whatever this is that you're doing, because you guys are bringing some kind of value into the world with Taurus. Whatever it is that you value, which I think is spiritual things, emotional things, some kind of skill set, some kind of communication, reading sacred texts, something like that. Like, you find value in it, and if you bring it out into the world, there's going to be an immense amount of value that's shown back to you in that kind of way. Because, yeah, what you guys are moving away from is, this is a lot of like chatter energy. You're breaking away from a crowd, I feel like. We already talked about this Aquarius card, but yeah, networker. Conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. So I feel like a lot of you guys, you're here to check fear and falsehood in some kind of way. I really feel like you benefiting benefits everyone is kind of like what I'm getting. And some of you guys want to live the good life, and you can do that through your mind and skills. Yeah. There's something gravitas about what you're saying, where it's not the same thing that everyone else is doing. And, you know, Claire Nakti has a video about people copying you, and I have a Hasta South node, so that's my connection to Spirit. And already, without having the copycat, the mimic as a South node, anybody's South node, if someone shares a luminary, a moon, or a sun placement with your South node, there's a strong desire to want to mimic that person. But there's something here where like somebody might want to make whatever it is that you're doing cheap and common by copying you. But I just feel that that has to do with their own mission here, and it'll be handled outside of you. That makes sense. You don't have to worry about that. All you have to worry about is doing you and putting it out there. Because somebody could have some kind of mission on respecting people who bring this delicate spiritual energy into the world. Like, Spirit does not take kindly to people who mess with its messengers. And it's not something that all you have to do is be loyal to the messages that you're given. You don't have to worry about that. I want to see what this Four of Cups is about. There's something here about I feel like you guys are supposed to be working alone. Don't do what everybody else is doing. because you're tapped in. So if you think that you're weird or different, it's because you are. You were that in a past life for sure with this Aquarius card. And it's helped you develop some kind of skill set that you have. And it's helped you to channel that into this world in a kind of way. So what you're doing is not common. It's not for the masses. With Aquarius is masses. Don't try to please the masses. Try to please yourself with the purity of your craft. And in so doing, you will please God in whatever way you're viewing God here. And it will help to build something new. The Three of Pentacles, I always feel like, is a divine mission. It's helping to bring spirit down into the material realm. You're collaborating with spirit. That's who you're collaborating with. Pile number 3. Okay, so let's see the themes like that this could come up in your life. Fear. Peace, change, and honesty. I feel like a lot of you guys could be really tempted to like try and appease the masses or change a message or something like that, or where you withdraw into yourself when you start to feel too afraid to give messages that you need to give. But don't do that. Don't do that. Be honest, right? I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And then fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. And then change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So you guys are, I feel like you're here to start something, to do it your own way and to start something. All right. So let's see what blessing is coming to you and what blessing you are. God of spiritual healing, an aspect of you or a situation in your life. Oh, there's nudity. I was sorry. Is in need of healing. So you guys are getting some kind of spiritual healing. And you would know what that is coming from. And then, oh, interesting. So this is the blessing that you are. Angel of diet and nutrition. Pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what is good for you. I feel like this is a diet of information. You guys are bringing up the vibration of messages. You're better storytellers. I often think to myself, like, how much of tarot is couching things in context. And I tell myself and I challenge myself every day to just tell better stories, to be a better storyteller, to frame things, to bring in new elements of things, to look at things in a broader perspective. And I feel like in whatever this is for you, you're being challenged to do the same thing. Right? Not the same old, not like just going, like, you guys are channeling something different. Whatever this is in your life. Some of you guys there's some kind of interesting motherly aspect to a group of people. But it's like mother's milk is what I'm getting. You're nurturing somebody on a diet of information. Goddess of the sacred path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. You guys are really allowing people to trust their intuition more because you're able to explain things really, really well. An angel of guidance. A renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. Okay, so then the last part is just to get a message directly from spirit. So I'm just going to read this from the book. I love this deck. Oops. I'm hearing that Pink song, I would rather we just go a different way than play the game. Like, you guys are here to start a new way. And not in a masculine, like, I don't want to use the word trailblazer. It's like not in that way. It's like in a very feminine way. Oops. I don't want to take the jumper, sorry. Riding the cosmic wave. All right. You can be carried further by the cosmic wave than by your own efforts. Where you are going, you cannot be attained by effort. That's what I'm saying. Don't be worried about people copying you, because where you're going is so authentic and it's so driven by spirit. You can't get into it without connecting to spirit, and spirit's got to give its stamp. Those other people who are trying to copy other people, they have to find their own path, and that spirit's going to work with them to find that. But don't think that people can just go what's meant for you, you know? Where you are going cannot be attained by effort. The effort, the discipline, prepares us for the leap, but after the leap, we are no longer sustained by our efforts, but by forces greater than us, the forces of love itself. You are stepping towards the edge, preparing to leap and to let the cosmic wave of love carry you forward. You shall be moving through grace into the new world awaiting you. This oracle brings a message. There is a time to work hard and a time to allow the fruits of one's labor to manifest, when one may be carried by forces set in motion, by the energy in life itself. You can let go and move further, reach farther with less effort. Now is the time to give yourself permission to stop paddling and instead just ride the wave. Give in, let go, and be moved. Your spirit flies like the wind, warms like the sun, and watches the sky. How wise the earth, waiting for the moment to be touched. Yes. So, this is such beautiful energy. Some of you guys have Virgo moons. Mercury somehow is strong here with your moon placement. And just know that this Virgo energy, you guys, this hermit energy, it's a copy energy sometimes. It's a mimic. And that's part of it. But you, and I feel like you have fears about this and you're trying to find your way around it, but you're meant to be leaders, and what's meant for you, nobody can really truly get the essence of. And definitely go to Claire Nakti's channel and watch why people try to steal other people's destiny. She talks about like when you copy someone, it is like somebody eats a banana and you find the banana peel. It's only the excrement of what was there, and it's not the true nourishment. So the best thing you can do is point people towards like the true nourishment that you were getting, instead of try to mimic the excrement, because that's how people get led astray. And that's what I'm saying. Spirit doesn't want that. Spirit doesn't like that. And it's not okay for people to do that. And there's another phrase that came up in these other readings, but it's either you get your reward in heaven or you get it here on earth. And like I was saying, Virgo can be the most materialistic sign. And this copycat energy, if someone's trying to copycat you in order to get material gains, let them. You're going to far surpass it because you're getting your gains in the spiritual realm. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. If that resonated, thanks for incarnating. It's a hard journey, but you intuitively know the way. So I would love to hear about this in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.